got Trevor having a seat here. Good to have Trevor on board. Trevor, good to see you again.
Nice to see you.
Remember last time I saw you?
Yes, sir.
Where was that?
After the Dudley game
We were doing MLK, weren't we?
Yes, sir.
We did the MLK interview.
Yes, sir.
Never forget that one. A little bit different for you this year over at Greensboro Day. You've got some help in the lane. I saw 3 guys like yourself, J.P. Mormon, and John Newman. Saw a lot of good traffic in that lane here recently. I like that. It makes it a little bit different for the opposing teams. Have 3 guys coming at you like that.
Yes, sir.
How has that helped the team?
Oh, it definitely helps the team. We have a little length that can help us on defense and try and make it hard for people to score inside.
When you get those 3 guys like yourself together, you and John and also J.P. Mormon, like I said, almost takes up the entire lane. It makes it tough on the other team to try to cover that length, like you said, in different spaces are much harder to protect and guard and cover.
Yes, sir. That's something that we try and use our length to help us on defense and try and help us in games. We really emphasize defense and feel that in order to win games, we have to play.
That's the key to the Greensboro Days game, right? Defense.
Yes, sir.
You guys don't mind a game in the 30s. You like to get a little bit more. You don't mind a game in the 40s. You'll play a game in the 50s as long as you're on the defensive end and winning that game.
As long as we win the game, that's all that matters at the end.
Hey, look at the W's. When I come by your website, greensboroday.org, I'm looking up to see if you guys won. That's the first thing I look for. After that, I look at the score, then move on from there.
Yes, sir.
How about having your brother? Don't you have a brother on the team this year? Is it Trevor?
Yes, sir.
How about having your brother out there?
Well, this is my first year playing with him in school ball. We played and rec together, but I love having him on the team. It's great to have him on the team on my senior year.
What year is
he? He is a sophomore.
Okay, so he's a young guy then coming up.
Yes, sir. And I love having him on my team. I'm glad I get to spend my last year with him on the team, and it's time that I want to cherish.
What did it mean to win that Hayco tournament this year? What did that mean for you?
It's definitely an important or a high thing on our list every year. We try and we want to win. Every time we step on the court, we want to win games, but that is definitely an important tournament that we like to focus on.
You could have a pretty good resume one day. You start writing down all your accomplishments in basketball. It's going to be pretty good for you, right?
Yes, sir.
What are you working on right now? What's got to get better in your game as you get set for your next game?
For us,
for you,
for me,
you? Yeah.
Well, I just want to be a little more aggressive. Try and know where I can get my shots and know where I can help my team get better.
One thing about your game and everyone's game on Greensboro Day, you've got so much talent coming in there. You've got maybe 8, 9, 10 deep guys working out there. Good to see you, Coach. Good to see you out there and good to see them coming in. But you've got so many different guys to contribute and to help the program. You got to be a little selective about your shots.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I mean, you got to take your, because we always talk about the shots you take may be your own. It may be your last. If you don't make that shot, you may have a seat. Somebody else comes in. Coach going to rotate. You want to make them so you can continue to take them, right?
Yes, sir.
I know you've got a goal, maybe 6, 8, 10 points a game, but you're happy, I'm sure, to get what you can as long as the team is successful. Because you're definitely a team player.
Yes, sir. In our system, we try and allow everybody to contribute, and we have a lot of people that can come in and play off the bench. So that's something that we take pride in, and you have to know what your role is, and that's what I feel makes us special. Everybody knows their role and tries to do it to the best of their ability.
Do you remember what the score was into the third quarter of your game with Northwest? Remember the score then?
I just remember we were, I think, up by 3 at that point.
Okay.
At the end of the third quarter. And that was, I think we started to make a run at the end of the third, from what I remember. And that's really...
What do you think the difference was when you made that run? What did you guys do differently?
Coming out with a lot of energy, especially on the defensive end. They really made it tough for us in the first half. And we just had to come out with more energy.
Trevor Mayo with us, Greensboro Day. Trevor, the first school to contact you about attending college and playing basketball for them. Who's the first school to get in touch with you?
The first school to get in touch with me, it was Guilford College.
Okay.
And that continued to, that has continued to
Kept
talk
in
to
touch.
me.
Coach Tom Palumbo.
Yes, sir. Piedmont College, that's out of Georgia,
Know them, yeah.
and a couple of other colleges.
I would stick with Guilford. That's not a bad choice. You can ask World Be Free, ML Carr, all those guys who coached Robert Kent's in the area. Those guys that played at Guilford had successful careers. And they might come out of Guilford. You got a very good shot if you want to do something later in life because the education there means a lot too.
Yes, sir. That's definitely something that me and my family have stressed. Education.
Did you make a New Year's resolution? Anything new for the new year?
I think one of the things I want to focus on this year is not waiting to do things, not procrastinating.
Go ahead and get it done. Don't
yes,
put it
sir.
off.
Go do it now rather than later.
What about this cold weather? Anything you like about the cold weather?
Oh man, it hit me this morning. It's cold today.
What about the thing you've gotten better in your game since last year? You mentioned the defense is coming better, but what about the overall? What's gotten better in your game?
In my game, I would say my jump shot. I feel I really worked hard on it this off season, trying to improve there.
What do you work on the most? I mean, you work on that jump shot a lot. That's what you're working on.
Yes, sir.
I wrote this down. Here's my little additive I wrote down. I call this the left all left now. I come into the practice when I go all left. You guys can't do this because your practices are structured. If I'm working out on my own, I go in some Sundays, I just do nothing but shoot left hand all day long. I think none of the people still utilize that left hand. I mean, just pick one phase of the game and it's kind of highlight that phase of the game that day in your workouts.
Yes, sir. That's something that I'm also trying to get better at, handling the ball with my left hand, finishing with my left hand, because if you can use both hands, then you
It's
can
amazing what you can do. I mean, just watch a lot of games and people are weak with their left. They'll say, the funny thing is the coach say, make him go to his left. He's like, so wait a minute, he is left-handed. I'll make it not doing it, but the left hand is key.
Yes,
opposite hand. Let's say the opposite hand is key.
Yes, sir.
Because a lot of left-handed shooters out there now.
Yes, sir.
Other than Coach Johnson, the coaching staff at Greensboro, who's the coach that's influenced you the most, other than your current coaches?
There are other than at Greensboro.
Yeah, the ones at Greensboro, the other coaches that influenced you.
Well, all of them have influenced me in some shape or form. Probably the one that has influenced me out of the most is probably Coach Smith. He's a very tough coach, but he also knows how to help you.
And outside of Greensboro days, some coaches that maybe back in the younger days that influenced you, kind of lit that match and started that fire, the basketball drive. Then who were some of those coaches back in early days?
I played basketball ever since I was little, so I guess I'll have to say my dad. I played for him for quite some time.
He was the man.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
What's his first name?
Daryl.
Daryl?
Yes, sir.
Never met him. Daryl Mayo. Good job raising this young man, Trevor Mayo and Trayvon Mayo, and the good job they've done. Duke Carolina, State Carolina. What's your favorite matchup between those schools? You like Duke Carolina matchup or the State Carolina?
Well, I've always loved Duke Carolina matchups.
Okay.
It's always a lot of coverage on it. It's definitely one of the most.
Is that as big to you as a Wesley and Greensboro Day matchup? Not quite as big right now, I bet.
Not quite as big as far as comparing them, but it's definitely a big thing.
Who do you like,
Definitely
Duke or
big
Carolina?
I would have to say Carolina.
Carolina, you're a Carolina
sir.
man.
Yes,
Is there a
I've always been a
player on
Carolina.
there these days you like to watch?
I like to watch Tyus Jones. I like
Gotcha.
him.
With the Duke team, okay.
Yes, sir.
I was about the Carolina team. Your guy might be a guy like J.P. Tokodo, maybe a guy like that in your neighborhood.
He's pretty. I like to look at his game and try and see what I can do that he does. But that's I look at almost every player like that. I try to see what type of things I can take from their game.
What about this game Saturday, Panthers in Seattle? Who do you like in that game? That's a game a lot of people will be watching, that big football
I would love
game.
to see the Panthers win that game.
You feel like they will?
I think that they definitely have a chance. They played earlier this season, and that was a very close game.
Are you a Cam Newton man, Phil?
Yes, sir.
He's quite a leader, big
Yes,
guy.
sir.
I bet he can play some basketball. There's no
Yes,
doubt
sir.
about it. What about Oregon, Ohio State? That comes up Monday. Who do you like in that one?
That's another game that I'm looking forward to seeing. I think I'll have to go with Oregon on.
Taking Oregon in that one?
Yes, sir.
Baseball Hall of Fame named 4 new members this week. Randy Johnson, he's a basketball player, kind of like, he's 6'10". You got John Smosh, you got Craig Biggio, you got Pedro Martinez. Any memories of those guys playing baseball? You know which team they played for?
I was not. I never really watched
Keep up with
baseball
those
like
guys.
that.
I'm going to leave that one out there. Somebody will get that before the day ends. HACO tournament. Do you know what the HA in HACO stands for?
I do not.
Now, earlier, Darius was able to tell us he spelled HACO, H-A-E-C-O, the HACO, but the H-A is still out there. We don't know what that is yet. I'm going to leave it out there, too. Al Jefferson, you've heard of Big Al?
Yes, sir.
Team he plays for?
Charlotte Hornets.
Another guy that plays on that team that we know.
Kemba Walker.
Yeah, another guy, too, P.J. Hairston.
Oh, yes.
And
yes,
Kemba
PJ.
Walker, 3 straight games, 30 or more points. Unreal. I mean, the guys, I hope he doesn't wear out. You know, I mean, he's leading it. They've won 3 in a row, I think, with him. But
Yes,
that
sir.
guy, he's definitely earning this paycheck.
Yes, sir.
And that's the kind of guy you don't lose to another team. The other team starts to see what Walker's doing. His contract comes up. He could be out of there and gone. You're buying stock. Do you buy the Nike stock, Under Armour stock, or Adidas stock? You're looking at those stocks today. Which one do you buy?
I think I have to go with Nike.
Nike?
I like Nike.
Can't go wrong usually with those guys. Favorite class right now at Greensboro Day?
My favorite class right now would be probably my computer programming class.
Gotcha. Can you help the other students in that class? Have you got it that far where you're helping others?
Well, I haven't got that far yet.
But you're getting close.
Yes, I feel I'm getting close.
How about the toughest class, or maybe sometimes it becomes your least favorite class because it's so tough? Which class is that?
I would have to say my toughest class would have to be Intro to Calculus. Now, it's not my least favorite class because I really like math, but it's definitely a tough class.
That's a tough one. What show or channel do you watch the most of on TV?
Probably Sports Center.
Sports Center. Do you watch The Good Wife on Sundays?
No.
Nobody's watching that yet. Got to keep an eye on that show. How about close out your basketball workout? How do you close out your workout? You got to hit a certain number of shots in a row. Everybody's got that going away shot. What's the going away deal for basketball workout when you close out the day?
I would have to say free throws.
Get a free throw.
After I've done all my jump shots, all my dribbling, running, time to go to the free throw line.
You try to hit about 10 in a row, maybe?
Yes, sir.
At least 8 out of 10. Got to
Yes,
hit 8 out of
sir.
10. If you're playing somebody to beat somebody, guaranteed win for you, would it be a game of 21 against somebody, the 15 win by 2 or 16 win by 2, or a game of horse? Which one would be the guaranteed win? Take on anybody you run into. How you beat that guy? Which of those games?
I would have to say 21.
21 would be your game.
Yes.
How about cross-country skiing? Could we see you doing that? It looks like it'd be a good workout.
I have not tried it, but probably have to add that to one of my bucket lists.
Good job.
See.
You know, you've heard about that bucket list. I've never jumped into the bucket, but I've heard about the list. Next up, we're going to go with Jalen Spicer. You don't like to do this, but let you make a good pass to a Northwest Guilford player. Pass that ball to Jalen Spicer. Get Jalen over here. Thank you, Trevor. Good
Yes,
job.
sir.
Hope to see you again later during the season. Maybe we'll see you on January 20th.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Keep up the good work. Jalen, that would be